Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make Uzbek Plov, which is a rice and lamb dish. This dish is super comforting and I'm particularly craving it in the colder months of the year. The ingredients that you are going to need is lamb. I'm using lamb shoulder, oil, rice bran oil, cumin, pepper, salt, bay leaves, carrots, onions, garlic. You can also use a different oil if you prefer. You're also going to need simple basmati rice. I'm using about 2 cups here. You want to start off dicing your meat into small pieces. You can make them as small or large as you like. I prefer them a bit smaller as it cuts down the cooking time. Once your meat is diced, you want to go ahead and peel your carrots and then cut them into matchstick size pieces or use a vegetable slicer like I do here, which is going to be a lot faster. Dice your onions and put them into a separate bowl. After you've diced your onions, you want to go ahead and peel your garlic bulb. You'll only need about 4 to 5 garlic cloves. Make sure you don't cut your garlic, you want to leave the cloves as whole. Grab a Dutch oven or any other heavy bottom pot and put it on the stove. Turn the stove up to high heat and take off the lid of your pot. Next thing you want to do is take half of the oil and put it into the pan. Wait until the oil is heated until you put in the meat. Once you see the oil sizzle, that's the right time to put in your meat. Brown your meat for about 1 to 2 minutes. Stir occasionally. Now that your meat has browned nicely, turn down your stove to low. Use half of the amounts of spices that you have measured before. Half of the cumin, half of your pepper, and half of your salt. Make sure you're pouring all of your bay leaves in there at this stage. After you have done that, you want to go ahead and boil your kettle. When your water has boiled, pour the hot water over your meat. Make sure your meat is covered with water. Then give it a good stir. Cover your pot afterwards and let your meat simmer for about 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, you want to go ahead and check your meat again. In the meantime, you can prepare your rice. Rinse your rice from any impurities. You'll see when you rinse the rice that the water will start to go a bit murky. This is the starch of the rice. Repeat this process for about 2 to 3 times until your rice water will run clear. After that, you can set your rice aside until you'll be needing it. After 40 minutes, I went and checked on the meat. As you can see, the water has almost completely cooked down. And the meat was looking good, however it wasn't as soft as I hoped it to be. So I went ahead and just poured more water into the pot and let it simmer for another 20 minutes. After 20 more minutes, I went again and checked on the meat, had the perfect consistency. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the carrots on top, the garlic, the oil that I had left over from before, and the remaining spices. Once you have done that, you want to give it a good stir. Then you're going to put the rice on top. Make sure not to stir the rice in, just flatten it out on top a little bit. The amount of water you will need will depend on the amount of rice you are cooking. I'm using 2 cups of rice, so I will need 4 cups of water. Then you want to close the lid and let the rice simmer for 20 minutes until the rice is done. And there you have your finished plov. The rice is super fragrant and the meat is so tender and will just melt in your mouth. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it all up with the carrots and the garlic and everything, and then just gonna plate it up. Guys, the smell is just amazing. It just brings me back to my childhood. This step is totally optional, but I love fresh parsley, so I'm going to chop some parsley and put it on top of my plov. It doesn't only taste great, it looks great, and it gives the plov a really nice crunch and freshness. When I used to live at home, my mum would always brew a teapot of loose leaf black tea to go with the plov. And with the tea, we would either have sugar or homemade runny strawberry or cherry jam that we would pour into the tea. I know it sounds weird, but it tastes absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, I don't have any homemade jam at the moment, so I'm just gonna enjoy my tea with some sugar. You can make your tea as strong or weak as you like. I'm pouring about 3 teaspoons of loose leaf tea in there, and that's strong enough for me. Since COVID and the fact that I can't really visit my family overseas, I find myself cooking a lot more dishes that my mum used to cook for me and my brother when we were younger. Cooking them and enjoying and sharing them kind of brings my family closer to me, and it really does comfort me a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you guys next time.